Once you're there, take a couple of really good breaths, huge inhales. Nice exhales. And I always like to start the class off with connecting with an intention. So what I was thinking of for today's class is doing stretches that would aid a runner. So things that are especially focused on the legs. So hamstrings, quads, hips, all of those good running muscles. So on the physical level, that's what we're working on, is those running muscles. And on maybe a deeper level, we're working on the stretching of those muscles rather than, the cardio activation side of all of it today. So what that means is our society is very much in that running state. We have to go faster, be more productive, all of that. So internally, let's try to slow down a little bit. While we're in those stretches for those running muscles, we're trying to let ourselves be in a slower, calmer, more peaceful state so that no matter what craziness and rush goes on around us, we have that stability and the balance within us. So with this to get us started, we're going to take some initial stretches. Stretch the arms all the way to the back wall behind you. Inhale. Exhale, lean like a banana. The shoulders lean over to the right. And then straighten back out. Lean to the left. And straighten back out. Take 2 more to each side. This helps to open up the shoulders, open up the side ribs. Good. So the next time your spine is in the middle, stay. We'll work our way up to a seated place. So kick the feet out the front, grab onto the fabric and sit up. Okay, so we're gonna play with our first inversion here, diaper wrap inversion. Your thumbs are off out the back end. Slide your thumbs in to grab the fabric. And your goal is to try to push it down. So you're keeping it about where the cat line is. In other words, we're not letting it slide up to our waist as we sit back. So hold it right about where your cat line is. Keep your core engaged as you start to tilt back. And once the fabric is locked and it won't slide any higher, grab up higher and we're halfway tilted back. Okay, so come to a halfway spot. Good. Good, and lock it and then slide hands up to grab. Good, beautiful. Now the last step to go upside down, open the legs like a big V, and then start to slide your hands down as we tilt, and then wrap your ankles. So one ankle wraps around each side of the fabric. Yeah, if you need to come up and peek at me, that's fine. So I started off with this V, and then I'm wrapping my ankles. Because as soon as my ankles are wrapped, I don't have to hold my hands anymore. I can just hang. Okay? Super close. That's okay. I'll come out and help. Yeah, so start to tilt. Legs continue to go wider, wider, wider. Good. Keep on tilting further and further and further down. Keep sliding your hips down. Good. Keep tilting. Keep tilting. I got you. You're good. Keep tilting. Good. From right here, wrap your legs. As soon as your legs are up, here's it. Sometimes it's fading a little higher. I think you'll feel good. Good. And then your knee, your legs wider. Bend your knees outward a little bit. And then you sleep grabbing. Is it kind of pushing on your back? Yeah. Yeah. You don't want to get dizzy. So if you ever start to get dizzy, grab back onto the fabric and come up. Some people are not used to being upside down for very long. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. And some people are not a big fan of inversions at first. So if you ever wanted to skip out on any, that's good. You'll notice how this is really good at decompressing the spine. So give it just a little longer. And again, don't let yourself get to the point of dizziness. So if your body is giving you any signs to come out, definitely let yourself do that. hold halfway back. Just once you're sitting in, use your thumbs to try to hold it in place. Also, your thumbs hold, keep it down right here. I'll hold you halfway back, sit to the back. Good. Now grab that one. Good. Wide legs. Wide legs. Perfect. Wrap your ankles. So your whole knee has to go on the outside. That's okay. Oh, that's it. See how this one's your ankle starting to go? That's okay. That's okay. It might be your hip mobility right now. That's okay. Now the other ones. Okay. For so many beginners, you guys are hanging upside down for quite a while. This is impressive. Usually beginners, it's like 10 seconds and then they're ready to be out. So just so I don't push your luck too far, go ahead and grab back onto the fabric by your thighs and then start to tilt your head up. You have to get your good grip first. Once you're tilting up, engage your core, start to unwind the legs and you'll just naturally pop back up. Unwind the legs, walk your hands higher. That's okay. My leg? Yep, start to unwind your legs. So you're already grabbing on. Unwind your legs and you'll pop back up. Grab one up here. Good, good, good. Unwind your legs. Okay, now you want to give your head some time because you're upside down for a while. So give your head some time being flipped back around. Just breathe for a moment. How do you feel? Good, good. Okay. So while we're letting our head get back to this orientation, let's just take a simple twist. We're grabbing onto the fabric that's closer to the front door. Okay, your right arm stretches to the back wall. That's the leg. So that's a nice easy twist. Or sometimes people will take that right hand to grab the fabric behind your head. So it just depends on which twist feels better for your spine. Good. Easy breaths in and out. Work. Start to release from this half of the twist. Bunch the fabric back onto the back door side. And then left arm stretches back, or the left arm circles around the head. And switch your arm so that, yeah, that's it. And same over here. Switch, all of you switch your arms so that it's the arm that's to the back wall. That's the one. So bunch up the fabric to the back door first. Yep, that's it. And that's it. So I'm doing the opposite just because I'm facing the other way. Feel your spine, all those back muscles stretching out. Okay. Now take it so that you're bunching up the fabric to the side that points you to me. So all of you guys stay, and then you two switch around. Good. So bunch up the fabric to point to me. Bunch it up. Once you're there, lock your arms straight. This gives your hips some space so that the hip that just got lifted, we're swinging that leg up and over. You're going to end up in a straddle inside the fabric. Whenever you get there, let both ankles go inside the fabric, both heels, and extend both legs out. Good, I think we all need it. Good work. It gets much more smooth the more you come back to that transition. So don't worry if that one felt a little not graceful the first time. That's okay, it gets better. So try to sit up as tall as you can get your spine stacked. And then your arms are pushing outwards so that you can experience a nice inner thigh stretch. For those of you that are first timers, I'm just going to give you a taste of some of the different types of things that we can do in aerial. So while there's full sequences you can do inside the fabric, I'm just going to touch on a couple of the very basic ones. So from here, slide your right hand down the right leg, left arm up and over. Huge side body stretch. And rise. Left hand down left leg. And the right arm up and over. And sitting up. Take the feet back out each end of the fabric. Take your ankle that's closer to the mirror side, and that ankle is going to come up onto the fabric that's in front of you. So you're crossing it like this. Yeah. Right on the inside. You'll feel how kind of like that pigeon pose we did almost at the beginning of class. You'll feel how this is a stretch just like that, where it gets it really nice and deep into the hip. So if ever you're wanting to go deeper, hug around the fabric and lean toward it. If ever it's too much, you need to go a little less intense, lock your arms back out, and that'll make it less intense on your hip. Okay, we're going into a hamstring stretch now. So this foot that's right in front of you, slide the arch of that foot back up onto the gathered fabric. Once you've got the arch of the foot up, start to extend the leg upward as high as your hamstring will allow. Again, if you need to make it easier because the hamstrings are really tight today, gather the fabric and lock the arms out. If you're ready for it to ever go deeper, that's where you would start to back your arm grip off of the fabric. It just depends on how the muscles are feeling right now. Keep breathing, slowing down. So much of life feels like we're in a rat race, so we're just a mouse in that ball just rolling around with no point. Slowing down, to me, is what starts to bring purpose and meaning to the life. It's remembering that we only ever live in the present moment. Why not enjoy it? Good. Now this leg that's up, release it back down to its side. Second ankle comes up. Same thing as before. Deeper is hugging in, leaning toward it. Less deep is pushing into the fabric to give your hip more space. Okay, from here, moving to the hamstring, slide the arch of the foot up onto the gathered fabric and extend the leg upward as much as the hamstring will let you. One more huge breath pulls in, out. Okay, So we're freeing both legs now to the mirror side. Shift your hips around until you're facing back forward. And we'll do a vampire pose from here. So those that are new to vampire, watch me first so you have it in your head, and then I'll walk you through it again. So vampire pose is a shoulder stand. So the idea is we have to get the fabric around our shoulders. We don't want too much fabric though. If we have like half the fabric on our shoulders, it really pushes in the neck uncomfortably. So you just want one thin layer completely covering the shoulders. And then I'm taking all the excess down to my waist with my elbows. So once I have all that down, just one thin layer, I lay back, my head is out the back end. I step my feet in, and I need to take all that extra fabric that I gathered at my waist down to my feet. I do that by lifting my hips up, extending the legs out, and then it's all slid down. So once you've got just one thin layer, all you need to do is reach your hands up left and right, get your feet up. It can be inside or outside the fabric. You just push from the inside, you're pushing out. And then by pushing, you're able to rise all the way upside down to the shoulder stand. Okay? I'll be on the outside helping anybody that wants me to peek at it. Make sure everything looks good. Move your feet a little bit, just a little bit less fabric. Yes, a little bit more than horizontal. That everything goes. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay? Bring your toes out so that it's good. And by pushing, you can lower your hips all the way.
I can only do like 2 right now, so does make you feel strong as the neck though.
You did much better than last year, that's for sure. Just like you're doing turning out, it's a lot of things. Pushing the fabric, like you can. And see how it's turning out. At first, yeah, I think we do. So just like before, you don't have to stay as long as anybody else. It's not a competition. Just listen to your body. For as long as it feels nice, and especially that massage you get in the shoulders, for as long as that feels nice, you can stay. And then when you're ready to come out, just lower your hips back down. If you've been down for a while and your head's feeling pretty good, start to work your way back up to a seated position. If you're still upside down, maybe take your last 3 or 4 good breaths. Eventually, you'll slide down and come to that seated position. Good. So just like before, give your head a little bit of time. If you need to hook your elbows, lean forward for a moment. This can give us a chance to roll some neck tension out. Just rolling to the left. Rolling to the right. Even sitting all the way up, clasp hands behind the back. And then shift the hands to the right hip. Drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Good. Head rises. Hands to the left hip. And left ear to left shoulder. And head rises. Release your hands. We're gonna exit the fabric. The safest way to exit is to bunch up the fabric on each side. You'll briefly lift the toes up, and then you'll tilt forward. Use that momentum to just land on your feet. Tilt up, and slide forward. Good. Notice how that helped to just get the fabric off of your thighs. Okay, fabric out in front. Grip about as wide as shoulders or slightly wider. And just start to lean. Nice stretch through the hamstring. This shouldn't be about the core. So if you're starting to go forward like a plank, bring your hips a little further back so that way it's less effort. Maybe sway a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right. Just watch out for your neighbors. Try not to bump anybody. And returning back forward, slight bend to the knees, roll the head all the way up. Let's take right ankle inside the fabric. Target is extending out in front of us. Good. You don't want to be too far behind plumb line, so hop forward if it's more than like an inch behind when you gaze up. And then this is about the hamstrings. So option number 1 is just slide the hands down and lean closer to the thigh. Option number 2 is a splits. That would be hands up and then sinking weight forward like a split. But your choice just based on how those muscles are feeling right now. Weight comes back over the center, bend the knee, grip on about shoulder height, and just sink forward to the point where you feel a hip stretch, but not knee pain. If you feel any sort of knee pain, that's a sign to back your hips backwards and then just lean forward instead. Make sure your knee is happy and leaning forward into the hip stretch. Good work. Take your weight back over standing leg, extend the leg forward again. We're taking a twist. So left hand grips on right strand, and then right arm extends to the space behind you. So you should be facing toward the front door. That gets us into a nice outer thigh stretch. Try to keep your hips level and square forward. Beautiful. Returning forward, slip the fabric down to the thigh. Slide the hands up and sink forward. Really deep stretch for the front of the left hip, that psoas area. Sometimes it's nice for that back calf as well. Okay, and warrior 2. Both hands grip on left. Standing toes turn to the left. And sink your weight toward the mirror. One arm opening forward, one arm back. If this is ever too much pressure massage onto the muscle, the hamstring area, come back for a moment and spread out the surface area. That's always an option you have. Massage gets better over time. It just takes a little while for the fascia to get used to it. But I'm seeing good breathing. Okay. Grab back onto the fabric in front of your face. Squeeze the inner thighs together to return back. Slip to the ankle again, but this time we're facing to that back door. Good. So on the strand that's in front of you, left hand slides up, right hand slides down. Good, that's it. Opens up the chest. So then from there, if there's more space for the inner thigh stretch, keep on sinking your weight like a splits forward. And return over your standing foot. Just the right hand holds on. We're gonna start to bend the knee down and continue to face toward the back wall. You're turning that full 90-degree angle. Good, bending the knee, that's it. And you're caught on the ankle, good. Grab over each shoulder, and then sometimes a little hop backwards helps you feel more balance. So this is where we're getting into, yep, exactly, dancer's pose. So gripping over the shoulders, point the elbows to the back wall. Pointing your elbows to the back wall, good. Lean forward, and then kick your foot into the fabric. That creates a really good lift. Yeah, a nice back bend as well. Good. And coming back upright. Just an easy break. Let the fabric rest on the shoulders behind you and just start to sink your weight backwards. This will get you into that right thigh quad stretch for that leg. Your knee's never in pain, but keep on leaning back to the extent that it feels okay for the thigh. And come back over standing leg. As you feel your balance, you'll eventually let go so that you can drop your hands to the floor and then left knee to the floor. Find your balance, hands to floor, then you need to. Sometimes shifting to the low back with one of your hands gives you an extra moment, or you can even hop closer to that wall so that you can use the wall to help you walk down. I can even come out to you. That's it. You got it, you got it. Tuck your way down and then left knee down. Good work, guys. Okay, so 2 options for the core. Option number 1 is the easier option. You just tuck those left toes and work on slowly lifting the left knee up and slowly lowering it back down. That's the easy option. Option number 2, quite a bit harder. You step your left foot into the fabric. You're holding in plank or bending in and extending out. You get to choose what type of core, lifting the knee up and down or taking that. And you get to choose how long you're in that core step. So maybe 5 or 6 reps, maybe just like 1 or 2. Go to the amount that feels good for your body, and then eventually you'll take pigeon pose. That left knee is back down, swivel the toes in, lower to elbows. Happen for at least one core thing, right? Make us a little bit stronger today. Not to pigeon yet, go ahead and release down, take that pigeon pose. I'll be here about 3 more reps. Whenever you finish your 3rd breath, back up onto the hands. Slowly lower your right knee down. And just for a nice recovery for the hips, just kind of shake them slowly left and right. Moving some of that tightness out of the hips. And stay on your knees, face forward. We'll do a wrist lock. So your hands are in prayer position. Dive your hands into the fabric. Turn your thumbs down. Then scoop under, all the way flip up. Separate about as wide as your shoulders before you grip on. And then this is puppy pose. Keep the hips over the knees. And then the rest of the spine starts to droop forward in a deep arch. So bent elbows is really nice because it lets the back do most of the stretching. If you really need a shoulder stretch, extending the arm straight is an option. It makes it really intense though. Okay, exaggerate your spine the other way. So sink your hips back to heels and then exaggerate like a super child pose. Just push the spine to the back wall. Okay, roll the spine back up. Walk your hands up even higher on the two lines. And then we're going to take a back bend. So plant the feet, lift the hips up, arch the spine back. Whenever you're ready to come out, just use the arm strength to pull you up. That's it. Walking backwards is also a great way to come out. Good. Whenever you're up, you can free out your wrist by just rolling out. Good. When you're there, left ankle inside. Have a whole other side with you. So the first one is either lean forward for the hamstring stretch or slide the hands up for splits, your choice. Not to be too far behind plumb line for this one. And now we're stretching the running muscles. Internally, we're calm and slow. Rising up. The knee swivels out to the side. Grip about shoulder height. Again, only sink forward to the point where there's no knee pain. If you do have knee pain, slide the hips back and lean more forward instead. Okay, weight comes back. Extend the leg forward again. Right arm grabs on left. Left arm opens to the twist. This should be a twist to the back for you. That's it. That's the way. Yeah. Facing back forward, slip the fabric to the side. Sliding hands up, sink the weight forward. Round up the right hip stretch, and or even going into that back calf. Both hands grab on right half. Right toes pivot to point to the right. Warrior two, sink the weight to the mirror. Maybe one arm opens forward, the other arm backward. Hands return under the fabric in front of you. Squeeze your inner thighs together, your overstanding leg. Slip the fabric to the ankle. You're still facing to the front door side. Good. So on the fabric that's in front of you, right hand up, left hand down. Yep, exactly. Yep, that'll open up your chest. Right hand up, left hand down. Yeah, they can both be grabbing the fabric. Option to sink weight forward toward mirror. Weight comes back. We're doing that 90-degree turn. So left hand stays on the fabric, start to turn to the back wall, bend the knee down, facing all the way to that back wall. Good. Over each shoulder, take a little hop back to help your balance. And then over each shoulder. That's it. Okay, switch the grip to over your shoulders. That's it. Okay, point the elbows to the back wall. Lean forward. Then kick the foot into the fabric to create the lift. Dancers. Good work. Rising up. Quad stretch. Fabric rests on each shoulder. Lean backwards until you feel that back and thigh and a really nice stretch. And the nice restful pose after that. Huge activation of taking that back. Okay, we're preparing to come back down to kneeling. So if you need to hop close to the back wall, that's fine. If your balance is there, just letting go. Then work on dropping hands to floor. Then right knee to floor. Good. Same options as before. Maybe the right knee is working up and down very slowly, soft for the knee. Maybe you're stepping back into the fabric for plank, bending knees in, extending straight. Maybe some of us even want to try hiking the hips over the shoulders and then flattening back out. So lots of options. Go with the quantity that the core is still okay with. And you choose eventually when to take the right leg down into the pigeon pose. Or into elbows whenever you're ready for that again. Okay. Softly lower the knee down, come back up to hands. And just take some shaking movements, very slowly rocking left and right to the hips. This time sit, facing forward. We'll do one last strengthening move. Same wrist lock as before. So hands in prayer position, dive through. Thumbs turn down. Scoop under to flip all the way up. Then separate about shoulder distance before you grab onto each long pull. Good. Okay, so feet planted in front of us. We're going to do 5 pull-ups. The feet planting makes it much easier than a normal pull-up. So that'll take a lot of our weight off of our arms. So we're going to aim for 5. If 5 is like impossible, try to even just get 1 or 2 and that's fine. We'll take a break and then we'll do a second rep. Okay, so inhale, prep. Exhale, rise. 5, 4, 3, good, 2, 1. You can take a little break, wiggle the fingers for a moment. Yeah, notice how this is so much more accessible sometimes than if you're not quite to the point of full pull-ups, because this helps to take a lot of that weight off. Okay, if you're ready for your second set, inhale. Exhale, aim for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Release the wrist and just stay in prayer position. Right leg extends forward, left foot tucks to thigh. And just putting your weight into the fabric helps you slide forward. So open up the shoulders. At the same time, we're getting that really nice hamstring stretch. Okay, rise up, switch it out, left leg forward, right foot tucks to thigh. Same thing, just lean into the fabric to start sinking forward. Rise the spine back up. Open the legs wide. One more time, same thing, leaning forward into it. Spine rises up. Grip the hands as high as you can, left and right. Plant the feet in front of you. We'll take one more back bend. Try to lift the hips up. And then when you're ready to come up, arm strength and walk backwards. If ever that's not what you want to do, you can just come up instead. That's always fine. Okay, let's do one last thing to help release the spine one more time. Taking fabric behind our shoulder blades, kind of like by the low rib area. Walk back to take all the slack out. And then as you start to sink your weight forward, you're walking forward into like a chair position. So you're right under the plumb line and then release all the core effort. You're not trying to hang by the armpits. You want it to be a little further down on your shoulder blades. So that's your shoulder blades that are holding you up, not the blood, cutting off the blood circulation that happens right in the armpits. So releasing the core, feel how that pulls the spine really nicely. Sometimes I'll give you a couple of options that can feel nice, but again, if just being right here for this last release is what you want, this is great. So options that could feel nice are rocking the knees for a brief twist. Left, right. And then another option would be frog legs, straighten the legs back, circle through the side forward. One more option if you want it, right ankle to left thigh, figure four. And the other side. Good work, releasing that foot down, walk yourself all the way backwards. And once you're standing, back up top of the mat, find the fabric, wave it out. All the way to the top, nerve side. Once you've waved it out, hook your thumbs, take about half the fabric in your hands. Back under the plumb line, rise up to tippy toes. Start to work the glutes in. We'll come all the way down to that Shavasana one more time. So the fabric behind you supports the head. Fabric in front of you supports the legs. And always just know, if ever by this point you're like either dizzy or you just feel like you need to be grounded, instead you could always take Shavasana on the ground. So that's always an option. But otherwise, just lay all the way back like how we started class. And for these last few minutes, we'll just be breathing. This is our integration time where our body and our nervous system get a chance to have this reset. More than anything else, the intention that I brought into class today is about the nervous system. If we're constantly on go, 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 it can lead to adrenal fatigue, and it's not a healthy cortisol way for our body to be living. So these little tiny breaks in our day where we just pause and breathe for a few minutes, tremendous health benefits are there for us. Just a few minutes here, just relaxing. I'll gently guide you out when it's time, but for now, just breathe. Begin to deepen the inhales and the exhales. Start to introduce little movements to the body. So you could take some of the stretches we did right at the beginning, just extending arms to the back wall, wiggling left and right with the shoulders. Another offering a lot of people love is fetal position. You keep the body long, but you roll onto one hip. So one hip is stacked on top of the other hip. From there, you can curl in and arc the spine back. Good. So it's almost like a huge exaggerated cat cow. If you're taking that fetal position, maybe do 3 or 4 of those curling motions to one side. Eventually flip over 3 or 4 to the other. Slowly returning to body, breath, present. Balance your body, things feel good to each side. Start to work your way up to a comfortable seated place. And starting in front of the heart, we'll reconnect to our intention one more time. Just this remembering that it's okay that our society is so fast-paced. It's okay to run ourselves. And also, it's beautiful to bring our body back into balance through stretching, breathing, just returning to presence, slowing down a little bit at other times. So with all this to help lead us on, we'll wrap up the time we shared together with a sound of oh, deep inhale now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste. And happy